Welcome back to Community Garden. You already know who it is. It's G, Garden Boy, Blending Space. I'm known as Georgia Garden. And today, on the Community Garden, we have a very, very special guest. Okay. Today we're in a very unique space. All right, because we're with a very unique individual. What podcast or show can you tune into where the guest is taking our hair? I'm just asking. Ain't too many or any, except for the Georgia Garden show. So the reason why we in this spot right now, who we got in the crib, because I ain't even introduced who she is yet. I'm just to build up. Today we're in the genre for creative. We got a brilliant mind. She has an amazing soul, amazing spirit. She's so pro-black that it's just black. You heard? Today on the Community Garden, we have Shoalyn Brown. Woo! It's the show! Yo.
Hey, yo.
Welcome to the Community Garden, Shoalyn.
My name, now he just said my whole government.
Yeah, I did.
My government.
I'm sorry,
like,
Shoalyn. It's because I just want the people to know who you is.
and it's okay.
You know
Shoalyn Brown, that's me. Okay.
I mean, it's not like you got it written on your shirt.
Brown.
You know
that's
what I
I'm repping today. Like how we was just
1,000%.
Brown.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we keep it pro-black, keep it pro-brown in this show.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
My name is Shoalyn Opal Brown. I put my full name on everything. When I graduated, I said, make sure you got this
Opal.
right.
All the way through.
Make sure you got this right. On all my degrees, because growing up, I didn't, like, my name wasn't, oh my God, your name is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I just started getting it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. So,
you know, it took me a long time to be confident in not just my name, but just myself.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of, you know, it takes a lot to do in the world we living in right now.
Yeah.
You know, where you being pulled this way, pulled that way. No one's teaching you how to create something of your own. And that's just, I mean, I'm a deep person, so I can only imagine how it is for other people, and they don't even talk about it, because I talk about it so much. You feel what I'm saying? That people are like, oh yeah, that show, she talk about that. But it's Shoalyn Opal Brown, show off, be breezy, be breezy, shy be breezy.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I am. He could come in here, name drop.
Yo, chill out, bro. What is happening on this show?
No, SOB. Say no,
but
right, name, that's my name, and yes.
Yo, she is.
Hi.
Shoalyn, a little cuckoo, but
I was always like this.
We love it. She's not lying. All right, look. So, Shoalyn, I know we got a lot to talk about. All right, but we want to start off with the background. Okay, we want to understand who you are as a person. In order to understand who you are as a person right now, we kind of have to go back into who you've been and what kind of made you who you are, what inspired this person, this version of yourself that we see now.
That's a deep question.
It's a deep drum. So hold on, before we get into that,
let me get a sip of tea.
Let's get into the tea. You know what I mean? So today,
you know I watched the show.
You already know how this show gonna go down. Yeah. So today she chose a ginger turmeric.
Yes, because
wellness blend. Shoalyn is very, very, very heavily into the wellness and self-care and self-love. So it definitely makes sense for you to choose that joint. It's interesting. I have people pick from this box, and everybody picks a different joint. Obviously, there's one of each in that box. But it's interesting to see which teas. I just said this with George just yesterday. Everybody have their own kind of favorite tea.
What did
that speaks to them. She spoke of vanilla chai.
Of course,
it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Don't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's really dope to see the different teas different people choose.
Yeah.
I think it says a lot about their personality. But let's get into the tea. All right. So it may still be a little bit hot.
That's
the
nice.
rock sugar melted a little bit in that drink too. So I'm gonna pour you up.
Thank you.
Pour you up.
I'm so hyped.
Hyped for what?
I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for you to be here.
Shoalyn was one of the first people that hit me up. Was like, how can I get on the show?
Right.
She's like, what I gotta pay? I swear to God.
Do.
She's like,
what I gotta say?
What we need to make this happen?
Right.
I'm like, girl, we don't need nothing, no money. Let's just make sure that the timing is right.
Right.
And I'm grateful that the timing is right and that we're here today. So let's toast up to season 2. It is a little hot. All right, don't burn yourself.
I ain't never been afraid of no little tea, man.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
I love tea.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. It's a good job.
Mm-hmm.
And the tea ain't all the way marinated yet. So let that sit a little bit.
Ooh, that's nice. Mm-hmm. That's some nice tea.
Yeah,
I like that.
Look, my partner, not partners just yet, but my partners, Tranquility and KOP Mall. If you want to support your boy and my plants, go check them out. They there. If you want to grab some tea while you're there, that'll be amazing. Mm-hmm. They have amazing tea.
Tell them who sent you.
Yo, G and Shoalyn sent you. All right, make sure you get that ginger turmeric.
Just so you know,
Shoalyn stamped that drink.
Just so you know, ginger is really good for your body,
1,000%.
And turmeric is really good for your body as well. Mm-hmm. Very good, especially for us women. You know we have the issues, the problems.
All right. So let's get into this drink though. All right, I want to understand, Shoalyn. What part of was you born and raised in Philly?
Yes.
All the way through?
Yes.
What part of Philly?
I grew up, so at first my mom had me at 19, so I was in Germantown area, so Mount Airy, but I didn't never go to school there. After that, I went to, we was in Germantown when my mom finally got a place. We had multiple places. My mom grinded. We had multiple places. It was just me for 3 years by myself, and then my sister came in when she 3 years later. But we was in multiple places, but Germantown, and then from Germantown we went to the Northeast.
Okay.
So I was up in the Northeast for a bit. So people down there, they do know me as Shoalyn. And I'm gonna talk about that as we go through, because people really do know me from different times. So Shoalyn, Shoalyn or Shy, because Shy is my family nickname. So my mom, everybody called me Shy. Shy, yeah. I got so you. When because as a child you don't really speak too much for yourself. Yeah. So everybody, that's my nickname at home. So everybody kind of just adapted to that. Yeah. So that wasn't really a nickname that I made for myself, but it kind of even made me shy. I feel not made me shy, but I was
quiet,
really shy.
Yeah. Even when I met you in high school, you were a little reserved.
But I was still, when in the beginning of high school time, I was still kind of getting to know myself. So I was in the Northeast for my elementary years, going up until first grade to fifth grade, and I had to move. I was so sad. I was in the projects. I was scared to leave the projects.
You were scared to leave the projects?
I was scared to leave the projects.
It's your comfort zone.
Because, yes, my friends was there. It was my first best friends. Yeah. I'm just starting to, find myself and who I am as a person and my own person and trying to find some freedom. So, I'm like, damn, I'm not going to know nobody. Then we went to North Philly. After that, we went to North Philly. And I love North Philly today. But, God.
Different world.
Different world.
I never lived in North Philly.
Different world. And when I say that I was going to be fighting, I was my first week.
You was over there fighting? You was fighting?
I was about to have to. I don't like fighting, but I did fight in Northeast too, but I don't like fighting that. I stopped fighting after middle school, but I fought to defend myself. I was bullied. No one, like I said, no one really liked my name. They thought my name was weird. They made fun of my name.
Really?
Yeah, Shoalyn. But it's kids. We kids. Shoalyn Showdown. Shoalyn Monk. Ha ha ha. And I'm just you know what I'm saying? I'm that's not funny. That's my actual name.
Oh, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? It's kid stuff. I forgive it. I've been forgiving it, but you understand how they can get you into some things that's just damn, why I gotta go through this because I got this name, Look at the stuff that it's putting me through, Yeah. And that's a background right there. Yeah. But so when I came to North Philly, I was there for high school. That's when I was in middle school. But middle school, I was catching the school bus up to Mount Airy. So my mom took me out there school because I was crying the first day. So I was weak. I gave up on that. I was not ready for North, okay? So I was taking the bus, getting up early for the bus, and then that's when I went to high school. So I lived in two different places in North Philly, Strawberry Mansion area and Temple area.
Okay.
Did that through high school, and through high school, you know, I was so, oh my goodness, I was so lucky to have been able to go to go to Chad, because there was like such a creative field, and like my therapist knew, because at this time I was going to therapy and stuff like that. She knew that I was creative, so she knew that I would thrive in a creative setting.
Environment.
Yes. So being there was amazing. Like at first, I'm not gonna lie, like I was very shy and very like, because I knew that I didn't fit in. Now at this point, people call me shy sometimes there, but I feel like, what was my name? What you think my name in high school?
In Shoalyn? I mean, in Shoalyn. In Chad?
Yeah.
It was definitely shy. I remember people calling me shy.
Yeah.
I feel like there may have been another one, but shy is the one I mostly remember.
And they mostly call me Shoalyn. Like they actually, not that they never, in high school, I can say I was never bullied for my name.
Yeah.
I was never bullied for my name.
I mean, you went to Chad. It's such a diverse school with so many diverse,
right.
like, so many people from all over the city. That it was like,
it opened up different.
And
yeah. So it wasn't never like that. That's not what I struggled with. And I struggled with confidence. In high school. You know what I'm saying? Being able to stand up and be like, this is what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? This is what I want to go and do. And just because everyone else isn't on their same page, I'm still there. Like, I still walked in like myself and stuff like that. Oh, good thing I took these out, because they started trying to be with each other. Like,
like locking together?
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Like it was intertwining.
Yeah.
Entanglement.
Entanglement.
Okay. So let me hold on before we go all the way into high school and all that great stuff. So going through different places in Philly and all that great stuff. Where was it that like you really like you feel like you really found your? I guess you probably didn't find yourself to high school. You thinking, right? Or where was it that you felt the most high school safest? I should say, in moving around.
The most safest.
Like to be yourself.
To be myself.
Yeah.
College.
It wasn't until college?
It wasn't until college, because high school, like, we still had the things that we had to do. You know what I'm saying? We had to get the degree. That's how, you know, they made us feel like we had to go take that test. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had to be seen as a certain way. And I feel like, you know, even though I did explore different art forms, I'm giving Chad that. I explored different designs, architecture. We into interior design. We had a good, you know, come up when it comes to, for people who actually went into the arts. And even if you don't go into the arts, it kind of helped you think a different way, like with that critical thinking and stuff like that.
Yeah, it definitely changed how you see the world and how you process the world as a whole.
So, high school was me building my confidence. I always talk about this, but I started sewing in high school. But and this is what got me to college to do fashion design. So it kind of all connect. Like everything you do, as long as you know, sticking to it. I know it's hard, but like as long as you following yourself, and you know, even if you may have to sit by yourself sometimes, or even just with one person, like it's okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta follow what you want to do with like what's here, you know, and what's like what you see yourself, because you're always being guided. I'm a spiritual person, but I just believe you're always being guided, and from what I can see, like God definitely directed me into the place where I am right now.
So with you going to Chad, in Chad, what did you really love the most about not just this because I think we talk about Chad a lot on the show, which
is not a
bad thing. A lot of people I interview is from Chad or went to Chad, but I kind of want to talk about like your experience in high school as a whole, right? What was like? Let's forget the first question. I want to ask you, what was your experience in high school? Like, what is the most memorable, I guess, moment in that time?
The most memorable moment.
Even from your childhood. Let's say your childhood as a whole. This is not focused on
childhood as a whole.
As a whole. What's your most memorable moment? Like something that every now and then you sit back and you think about, like, oh, that happened. That was cool. Or that wasn't cool, or whatever it was.
Well, I'm going to do what was cool. Or should I say what wasn't cool? I think from my childhood, what I remember what wasn't cool is knowing, like, me not being allowed to, like, advocate for myself. And I've been talking about that a lot, you know, because I feel like I'm at the point, you know, at 24 years old now, you know, I'm feeling like, dang, I wish I had someone to help me guide to advocate for myself. Like, I know what I feel and everything, but how can I communicate it? And I think the reason why I'm where I am now, to where I've gotten into so many different designs and so many different, you know, spaces and stuff like that, is because I'm trying to figure out how to communicate through my thoughts and stuff like that with the world, you know, not just with the world, but even to start with my family, just to communicate with my family. You know what I'm saying? Going to, you know, being with other families. I always want, like, I'm always just in other people's families, and just like, I'm just that kind of person. I'm like a very family whole person. Like, remember when I said I know you know, and people be thinking that and let me make this clear disclosure. Because people be thinking that I'm like fresh, like my comments, because I know little y'all dirty little minds. No. I know little y'all dirty little minds, but I'm really an innocent soul. Like, I really be, when I say funny. That, is when I mean that George know how to be a father, like a man in a household, like in a unit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I'm a deep person. Like, I know I came the way I came in the beginning, but y'all about to. But that's deep. So, you know, so me not being able to advocate for myself, I understand how that's slowing me down as an adult. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to I feel like that catch up. Oh my God, like, I'm trying to slow down. I'm slowing down. You know, it took maybe 2 years, you know, since 2020. That's when it started. Like, feeling like I'm catching up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to slow down.
So you feel like in this time now, in this season, is like you're learning to communicate to the world.
Yes.
Through your art, through your creativity, through your ideas,
because
the things that you want to do.
I always talk about this concept. Growing up as children, we grow up to be good children for our parents.
Yeah. Or the adults in our life.
Or the adults in our life, like, that mean so much to us, or that we look up to, that's like, I cannot disappoint this person. Another thing from my childhood that I remember, and I always talk about this, I talk about it in my essays and everything, because these are real turning points in my life. When I got a D I got a D in science, and you know, me in school, we have a different relationship, but I'm gonna talk about that. But I had a D in science, and my mom, like, I brought it home, and my mom was just like, you know, disclosure, my mom beat my bottom, like,
I got you.
She beat my bottom, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she played it. Like, my mom would come into the school with a belt. You think that you about to act up in school? My mom did. Yeah, you not about to act up in school. That's how it was with my mom, and I'm starting to understand that even with my grandma. My grandma was a preschool teacher, and we'll talk about the preschool stage too. But my grandma preschool teacher, they did not play about me being in school. But I got ADHD. I'm so like, I did have IEPs. You know what I'm saying? Like, these things that's supposed to help us, you know, get through school and stuff. I had those things, but. You know, when I brought that D to my mom, my mom was just like, she ain't beat me or nothing like that. She just was like, I know that you know, but I'm disappointed because I know you could do better.
And that stuck worse than the B, huh?
Yes, and that really, and this is what I really want people to like.
And what grade was this? What grade was this when you came with the D?
I was like maybe. What was I? No, I was in 5th, 6th grade.
Okay.
I was in 6th grade. This is my middle school area when I was in Mount Airy.
Okay.
So she just was like, I knew you could do better. Like, this is the reason why I want to work in the hood. You feel what I'm saying? Because I did have the privilege to be in a different neighborhood when I was getting my education at that time.
Mount Airy.
In Mount Airy. But that doesn't mean that there was like, you know how like parents, they trying to get their kids out the hood and stuff like that and stuff like
better
that.
Resources
better resources and stuff like that's what, you know, like I said, I had different IEPs and I had different systems. I had an after school thing that I was doing. Like, I had different ways on how I can better get through school, you know, with my stuff that I was dealing with, you know, with my mom everywhere, as you can see. You know, I'm everywhere, so it just was like, instead of me feeling like I didn't completely feel like out of place, but when it came to that grade, I was just like, dang, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I never got another D in my life.
Yeah, I kind of remember you being pretty smart.
Yeah.
I mean, you graduated from high school, college, smart enough. It's just
I
that
just
your
got on my
mind-
grandma for using this word smart. We was talking about how, like, I think she was in some kind of setting where it was like it was like white people. We was having some kind of conversation about a setting of white people and how they were smarter, or like or no, it was an Asian spot actually. Sorry,
Okay.
this was unexpected. But Asian spot, and and she was saying that, like, she had walked in Chinatown because she go to the Asian market and stuff like that. That's not to say that we didn't give the credit where it's due. That's why when I said, this is probably traditional. This is probably from their, like, this is traditional from
their culture.
Yes, can I have some more tea?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you. So I give respect where it's due, you know. So, but she was saying, like, they were smarter. They're smarter because they took the time to learn another language. I'm like, I don't like the word smarter. They're just a little bit differently developed. You know what I'm saying? They're developed in a different way. You know, we use these words, education. Like, I want to get into words. That's why I said I really want parents. When my mom said that she was disappointed in me, you feel what I'm saying? She didn't beat me. Like I said, I'm coming from a home where you gonna get your... Yeah, you're gonna get that. You better, like, don't play. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, but when she said that to me, that really struck me for... I'm 24. I still think about that. You know, yeah, and that was a certain kind of structure, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't be able to set my own structure until I got to college, to where I can make that decision on whether, because in college, I mean, some people stayed in that structure of, I gotta get these grades. I said, I gotta be proud of what I'm putting on this paper. I gotta be proud of what
your motivation
what
for what you're doing change.
Yes, I gotta be proud of what they're gonna be reading from me. I gotta be proud of how I walked to school. I was in a predominantly white school. We dealt with a lot of racism in that school. I don't talk about the school that much where I graduated, but if you go deep into my history, you'll find out where I graduated. Well, when it's gonna be dry? It's gonna be not. It's not gonna. It's too late. But my friend is there, and I'm gonna be there for her when she get her graduate. When she get her graduates, but because I'm gonna support my people, my friends, and stuff like that. But certain systems and structures are really in the education part, the education system. They really run a lot of our lives. There's no reason why educators shouldn't be at the top, the highest paying, at the doctor level of the highest paying jobs. Educators keep the world going. You
keep information flowing and kind of prep the next generation for the next frontier.
Right.
That's what they should be doing.
Right.
So, it definitely it's confusing a lot of times how little teachers and educators get paid, especially when you talk about like the younger ages, like 3 or not even 3, but you talk about like middle school and elementary school, because these are fundamental things that goes way further than just education.
Right.
It goes into, like you're saying, the words and how you're speaking to these kids. It goes into the environment that you're setting. And these are the things that the teachers are thinking about, the educators. They're thinking about the environment that they're creating for these kids. And it's much more than just a curriculum. It's about developing a space that is open and creative.
And you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Because this is a place where... I was just working preschool teacher. We'll get into that, but it's a place where you're growing to be your own person. I told my kids this, my 3 to 5-year-olds. They come to me like, I want my mommy, I want my daddy, I want everybody, I want all my family, and I feel that because they're your first source of development. That's why I did the doula stuff.
Comfort,
you know, because family. Like, that's why I say I'm into that family stuff. I'm very serious about that family. I'm really serious about keeping that family together. You know what I'm saying? Like, the power of family, you know. But I wasn't there to do that. I'm just there to teach. And I'm trying to tell them, you know, you come to school to be your own person. That's why you come to school. You know, people say you come to school to get an education. Get an education to do what? Get an education to do what? To do what?
Work for somebody else.
To work for somebody else? Or so I can be proud of myself and live in my body. We're not gonna talk about the suicides that people want to like get rid of their life. That's serious. Once you going, you're going. And to really get to that deep, that to that kind of place, I've been there. You feel what I'm saying? To be completely honest, I was not gonna do it, but I'm a very open person, very vulnerable person. So I can allow myself to feel like, you know, I would really like for this all to stop right now. I would like to stop feeling this way. I would like things to disappear. I would like to disappear. Just for a little bit. You feel what I'm saying? And this is not to say that, like, you know, people we're human, so like we're natural. You know how they say, like, with the Will Smith thing, like, why that violence? I don't condone violence. This whole world is violent. You feel what I'm saying? We have emotions. People don't.
Everything.
Right.
You feel happiness. You feel sadness. You feel anger. You feel excitement. Whatever.
Go watch Inside Out. Why do we cannot ignore our anger? Our anger comes from a certain place. It
comes from a real place.
A real place. A deep place.
Sadness. All that thing comes from a very real place. What I'm taking away is like as educators or even at a young age, it's like we're thought and put into this box and this frame of thinking and kind of like producing things for other people, and it takes ages, decades before we get to a place where we start doing things for ourselves. We get out of that mindset of a child and that mindset, their way of operating, and start to actually take ownership and pride on who we are, and not about making other people proud, but making ourselves proud.
Right.
Which is really, really dope.
At the same time of giving the credit due to where we come from.
We can't.
But we can't go forth without ourselves.
Yeah, we can't eliminate all the work that our parents or guidance or guardians, I should say, or aunts or uncles or whoever in our community, our friends, older people. We can't ignore the work that they put into us. But nonetheless, we're still left with the final product.
Yes.
We still have to decide what this thing is going to be, what our life is going to be, what our education is going to be, what our job is going to be, what our careers are going to be, what our homes are going to look like and feel like, what our families are going to look like and feel like.
It's a lot.
It's still in our hands.
It's a lot.
So you started taking ownership of yourself and the work that you're doing when you got to college.
Yes, and I say this now, being in education and going and exploring that, I wish that I had the opportunity at maybe 14, 15. I've been talking about this concept. I talk about a lot of concepts, but like I was talking about this concept because I feel like at that age, we should be starting to figure out what we want to do for ourselves. I'm sorry, it should not be taking us this long to learn geometry. We do geometry. I do the geometry in my pre-K class. It should not be taking us this long. We are not that slow. We are smart human beings. And I really realized in high school though, now in my adult age, I understand why the men was not for it. I was doing a lot of men homework. I was doing a lot of men and some women, some girls homework. I was doing homework. Cause me, I'm like, we gonna get through this.
I remember cheating on you. Oh.
Cheating off me?
Off you.
Oh shit.
I didn't cheat on Shoalyn. I was never with Shoalyn, but I remember
cheating off me
in high school multiple times. Shoalyn is such a kind person, Shoalyn.
Cause we gonna get through this.
1,000%.
We gonna get through this. Like, we sorry. Fuck this test. We gonna get through this. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see nobody left behind.
Yeah.
That's what I'm about. Like, nobody needs to be left behind. There's no reason why anybody should be left behind. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody deserves that time and that
help and
I was trying to be like, see you do it like this and that. And like, just do it. And I felt the energy, so I just did it. But you know, like people like do look at me like kind of like, you just like, but that's why in 24 I am on a self journey. That's why we're going to do self portraits. I am on a self journey. I have been a lot for people, I'm very humbled by that. You know, like I'm very happy that I even got. I always say this: if I was to go tomorrow, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And I want everybody to know
very
that. You know what I'm saying?
Very, very selfless.
Yes, very selfless. Like all this is for me, but at the same time, like it's for you.
1,000%.
You know,
it's 1,000%.
And I want everybody like, and I say this like, you know, with the black power thing. I wanna, like you said, like how it's about fully all together. Like I had, I'm about to shout out somebody.
Okay.
So I had invited somebody from like I met, and this is crazy, but I met him, and he came to Philly for a little bit, and I showed him around and stuff like that. But he said something to me, and he said these are like real key moments in my life. He said this means last year.
Okay.
He said and this all has to do with me, but he said, "Sho, I know you about the black, like I know you about us. But what does that say about, like, what are you really trying to teach the kids?" And I just was like,
oh, okay, I got you.
You feel what I'm saying?
I think
like,
I remember you discussing this a little bit about why you put a pause on My Black on Tour.
With My Black on Tour. And My Black on Tour is not done. And I probably won't get into all that. I'll probably just, just be chilling. But
yeah, what are you really trying to teach the kids?
What am I really trying to teach the kids? Because when you're in the classroom, when you're going to go get your education, when you're trying to develop, if we really want equality, then we wouldn't be worried about who's sitting next to my child.
Yeah.
The system needs to be making sure that they're helping develop all children. Because if you really worried about the adults that's acting the way they are acting, what happened? Where were they? How did their childhood look?
100%.
How did their education look?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I really want to get into that's what I've been doing. ABC, A Beautiful Conscious Day in the Hood. So that's the new thing, but more so, yeah, like those are very important things in my life that really turned me to the direction that I'm going into. Y'all don't even know, but we did, What's your next question?
Nah. I think it's Zulu, or it's one of the African tribes. They have a saying called Ubuntu.
Ubuntu?
Yeah. Ubuntu. It means
Ubuntu?
I am because we are.
Oh.
I want to get that tattooed on me.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I am because we are.
1000%, because it's the idea of unity. It's the idea of my purpose being attached to yours,
right?
And attached in our purpose being attached to the next generation and the generation that came before us. Because we're all gonna make it, or none of us is gonna make it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you look at it, as black people, when we now that we're in a place where we're educating each other, where we're going back and we're reaching out. Yeah, you cold?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm gonna probably open it a little bit.
But I think I just probably gotta take this off because I am a little warm. But that breeze is feeling a little. All right.
Oh, okay.
No, you good?
No, I'm opening it back up.
But what I would look, we both got ADHD. Our brain
No, for real.
This jump about to be. It's gonna be a little everywhere, but we're gonna bring it back to where we.
Y'all get the point.
Yeah, but Ubuntu, it's the idea of helping each other get to where we need to go to. It's not about one person making it. It's about all of us making it. It's about me being who I am because of my family being who my family was, because of my friends being who my friends are, and my friends being who they are because who I am. Me reflecting off of you, and you reflecting off of me, and us reflecting into the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's the concept of like being aligned and working together to make the next generation better. Because if we don't, like you said,
that's why I got this freedom tag. If we're not doing it for the kids,
if we're not doing
what are we doing?
Yeah, if we're not doing it for the next generation,
what are we doing?
Yeah, it's a selfless move. A lot of the world teaches us to be selfish. Selfish.
Yes.
Get
what you need to get for you.
1000%.
You can do that without stepping on the next person.
Yeah, that's true. 1000%. I think that's what capitalism and this world teaches us, is that it's just about you, and a lot of African culture and a lot of African mythology and stuff like that is about us.
But it's like
us.
It's you. Yeah, it's you. We know it's you. Obviously, you with yourself 100% of the time, 24/7 of the time. But it's like this analogy. Some that I didn't like. I used to catch the bus. Like I used to get around on the bus.
Yeah.
Some that like I never don't play is when a stroller get on the bus. you better be respectful and help that woman get on this bus with that stroller.
Yeah.
Cause my mom was that person, and I feel like, you know, we don't give respect to women as much as we could.
I think we don't give respect, period, to each other.
Right.
Let alone to a woman or older person or whatever.
Right. But my point is, I used to always say this, like, I get tipsy on the bus if I have to. This is a public transportation. If you want your own car, go get it. If you need to get your own, if you need a driver, get yourself a driver. But this is public transportation.
Yeah.
When that COVID thing was going on, I'm sorry, but they were skipping seats and stuff. I sat right next to people. You about to tell me I wasn't about to sit here? I sit right next to people. This is public transportation. That's out of pocket. I'm sorry. I was cheering my butt, so I'm not in your face, had my mask, or whatever the case, but I'm not, and even when I'm sitting by myself, I make sure people know you can sit next to me. Because that's what COVID, we know what COVID did and stuff like that, like the main things, but COVID really, I feel like, damaged our relationships.
It dehumanized us.
Yeah, and it really just like, it looked at you like kind of like a threat. It looked at everyone's a threat. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it put us all in survival mode.
Right, in survival mode.
You only thinking about what is going to harm you. Essentially, it's like, is this a threat? Is that a threat? Is that a threat? Is that a threat?
Yeah.
And that was how the whole thing was framed. It was very much to put us in a state of survival. And I'm glad that we're on the other side of it now. And a lot of us, not all of us, didn't make it. I mean, unfortunately, my condolences to anybody lost anybody, but
let me say that too. Like, I give that, but I see death in a different way. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I give that space for people who've lost, because I know how that feel. Like, I don't know how it feel maybe at the highest state. Like a mother losing a child or a father losing a child, or even something like that. Something you created. You losing something. Someone, or even just an elder that you were so close to, I feel that, I feel it, and I give that space for that. But as long as I'm living, I'm not going to allow anybody to feel less than a soul.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to tell me, you're going to make me stand up, you're going to make half the bus sit down and half the bus stand up.
Yeah.
If you don't sit your behind down, like, we already in the same space, like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, we already, like, in my opinion, I was looking at it like, listen, if I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it.
So let me ask you, though, how do you maintain this level of selflessness or openness? Because I can imagine that it's very draining to be somebody that's so giving, and so open, and so loving, and so kind. I can imagine that can be a lot and draining on your mental, your spiritual, your physical. Yeah. How do you maintain that, like, that part of you?
I feel like, how can I say this in a quick, because I could talk all day, but I feel like I let go when I need to let go, and I hold on when I need to hold on. I speak when I know I need to speak.
How do you know that? How do you know what you need? Like do you talk to yourself in your head and be like, all right, this is what I feel right now. This is what the situation is. This is what I need in this moment. Is that the conversation that is happening? Or
no.
How do you know?
I feel it. Like, I feel it. Like, here. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and it's intense. It's an intense process. Like, I'm a Cancer. And I got a lot of Aquarius, but I'm a Cancer. Like, that's when I was born, in the Cancer section.
Yeah.
So I feel very deeply, and like, when people like, like the Joker.
Yeah.
You should watch the Joker. That dark humor. It's kind of like, I do allow myself to feel so deeply that I allow myself to feel those moments, even though I know it may only last for a minute. Like, I
feel things
just so I can. I'm an empath. I'm an empath, and I can feed off of people. So that is hard to navigate, because it has been like, you keep looking at my hair.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you continue. it's just there's so many colors, and part of me is thinking, how does all those colors get in there? Don't worry about it. It's just I'm listening 1,000% of what you're saying now, but it's intriguing to me, the colors.
I know, but I had to point out you keep looking at my hair.
We're good. No, I'm just intrigued by
But
no, But yeah, you said you allow yourself to feel things.
Yes, and it isn't uncomfortable. I allow myself to be uncomfortable, but that's what vulnerability is. And we don't know, like, as a people, and I'm talking about us now, Black people. We have a different type of vulnerability and love in our spaces. It may look different in some places, but if you're in America and whatever the case may be, we can avoid that we've been here for a while. But let's not avoid and act like, oh, we're not a part of America.
Yeah.
We need to stop acting like that. Seriously, we are a part of. That's why they treat us the way they do now. Because we are a part of America.
Yeah.
What did we do? We made America. Give ourselves that credit. They knocked a lot of us down. They knocked a lot of us off. That is like, you feel what I'm saying? I thought in my head, like, you mean to tell me for 400 years you just been trying to down. You just trying to pull us down. Like, who gonna dedicate 400 years to a cause? We don't even live for that long. To a cause if that's not something to be fighting for. Something to hold back. A reason why you want to hold it back. You feel what I'm saying? That's why we need to stop, like, I know, we understand we understand part of our history, I guess. You feel what I'm saying? Because there's still things coming out.
Yeah.
But, like, we need to stop discounting ourselves and counting ourselves out before we count ourselves in. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I think that's where we need to start focusing on, where we don't need other systems to navigate us or to direct us. They don't walk these streets.
So hold on, Shoalyn.
Go ahead, sorry.
Hold on, Shoalyn, because I know you about to get it all the way in your bag.
Sorry.
But what I'm asking you is, how do you...
That happens. So...
When you're given so much, how do you replenish yourself?
Right. My best friend asked me that too. Angelique, she asked me that when I was started with the kids. And I'm just like... And she said, well, I asked you that question. She did the same thing. You just... Let me answer this question before. I don't know, like...
It's okay to not have an answer.
Right, I gain. Oh, that's what... no pain, no gain.
Okay, yeah, that's a new...
No pain, this is the new tattoo. I don't know if I need to get closer, but... no pain, no gain. Like, everything is for me. It doesn't... Like, I think that's what I always say this, and I guess I gotta be more direct. Like, but when I make decisions on what I do with my actions, like I said... When I see you, I see me. So everything is going to be for me, as I'm doing for you. Like you just said, would you say that again?
I am because we are.
I am because we are. That's like, so I feel comfort in that. Every night when I go to bed, that's why I say, like, if I go tomorrow, I feel comfort in that. I feel peace in that. I feel free in that. Imagine people sitting up all night like, I can't believe that bitch did that to me. I can't believe... Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I can't believe my family just count me. I go through these things too. I think we all go through these things. Like, I can't believe that I didn't get a chance to. I can't, why? We always say, why God? Like, it's just like, imagine how much time we spend on that and the energy we put into that, and how we could be putting that energy into something else that's more positive, that's more enlightening, that's more growth, productive. So that's the mental thing that I do. Now the physical thing I do is my stuff.
Yeah,
like
art and everything.
I sew, I play the flute, I paint. You know what I'm saying? I'm very artistic. I allow myself to be free in this world, meaning I will walk down the street and have a whole conversation with somebody I just met that's at the bus stop. I remember I bought like a whole dozen of roses, and I was on the bus, but I wasn't even getting off the bus. I stopped. I was at the front of the bus, cause stand at the front of the bus. You gotta stand at the front of the bus. Yeah. This was during a hard time of mine too, cause I didn't have a phone for a long time and for like a month. So I was just moving. I got off the bus and give a woman a rose. Like, enjoy the rest of your day. Like, it's these simple little things. Like, that's what I love. Like, won't you be my neighbor?
Yeah.
It's like, and if you watch the documentary, I've been TV, but certain things they do be worth watching, because when you watch the documentary, he talks a lot about that neighbor
mentality and being connected with other people.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that is a very important concept. Philly really needs back. I mean, a lot of our homes now and places are like a lot of renters, and there's not a lot of people in these neighborhoods who've been there for years that stay in these neighborhoods anymore, or even in these communities. People are consistently moving around, and I think it makes it harder. It's plus what's going on in the streets. It makes it harder for people to be open and to build those connections. So I think what I'm hearing from you is that it's like you kind of replenish yourself by creating and also loving and connecting with other people. Like that's kind of refuels you.
Okay, thank you for giving me that. Thank you.
Oh, well, I mean, you know,
like just you know how you received it, because I resonate. You know, like when you're alone, you know, when you get alone, I get alone, and I could be alone, but sometimes like I'm like, damn, I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 2022. I'm allowing myself to be more feminine.
Yeah.
Allowing myself to be more like emotional and stuff like that. Allowing myself to be that. I'm more vulnerable. Be like, yeah, I'm a sensitive bitch. Yeah, I'm emotional, and it's like, what? Okay. What you gonna say? Yeah, like, you know. Okay. So, okay. You know, I allow myself to be that way. Like, yeah, I'm a gentle flower, and treat me as such. You feel what I'm saying? I want women to do that more often. You know,
specifically black women. I think the world teaches us. I mean, black people, period, but black women as a whole, being as though a lot of our black women are raising families by their own. They're doing everything on their own. And there's not a lot of protection for black women. It's teaching you guys, unfortunately, that you got to be tough. You can't be the feminine being that you are, because the world is going to take advantage of that. Other people are going to take advantage of that. The work environment, corporate is going to take care of that, or take advantage of that. It kind of makes you want to be as aggressive for the things that you want as possible.
And I witnessed that. Go ahead.
No, but I get that.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I witnessed that in college. That's why I had to be that way. And people would, and I was around a lot of white people, so they knew, they pumped it up. When I tell you, I ain't gonna talk about specific things, but I've been called to the dean's office for defending myself. I was in a situation where I had put my materials through the machine, and this little girl knew that the machine was broken, and she watched me continuously put my materials in there, changing materials out. I'm paying for this myself.
What do you mean materials?
So like I had my, if you look at this, like, sorry, I did bring this out to show you, but I don't know if we're gonna get to that. But this is like plastics, but it's laser cutted, if you can see.
Yeah. It's
laser cutted, so this was like one of the benefits that we had were Moore. And you know, this is material that I had went to go, you know, and get, and I put through it, cut through it, grazed and everything like that. She watched me put my materials in there multiple times. When I found, and she said, and then I went to go talk to her, like, what's going on with this? She said, that's been, the last person had a problem with that, and da da da. I'm like, so you didn't say anything, you allowed me to keep it. So I didn't tore it, but I was just like, I let her be responsible for that situation, and I made her give me her boss's number. And then she reported me to the dean. And you know what, when I left the room, all I heard was, ha 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 ha. I went right back to that room like, huh? What was said? What did you say? What's so funny? Cause ain't nothing funny about what just happened.
Yeah.
And like stuff like that, like being there in that situation, like, you know, just sticking up for yourself and being it. And I seen a lot of aggression in me. That's why I changed it to I'm passionately aggressive. I'm very passionately aggressive.
That's a strength though, bro, because
wow, I'm sorry, y'all.
I thought it was my phone. I'm like, no way. You girl, go ahead. You take a quick little split. Oh, it's on the other side of the wall.
Hello. The new who? Okay. I cannot speak right now. I'm on a podcast.